A written exam consists of 450 questions. Each question attempted correctly fetches a mark, and every question attempted incorrectly attracts a penalty of 1/3 of a mark. So the marking scheme has been explained. Correct answer is going to fetch a mark, and every question attempted incorrectly fetches 1/3 of the mark. So positive is 1, negative is 1/3. No marks are awarded or deducted for any question left unattempted. For unattempted questions, there is no penalty or no positive marks. If a group of students attempted that exam such that every student attempted different number of questions, but all of them ended with 30 marks, what could be the maximum number of students in the group? Okay, we have 450 questions. Now first, let me see, how do you get 30 marks in the simplest possible way? So we have got categories here. So you can have correct answers, wrong answers, unattempted, right? So correct answers could be 30, wrong answers could be 0, and I'm just going to put the rest as unattempted. Okay, whatever it is, you can calculate for each one of the cases that you're going to get. You can always calculate, take the sum of correct and wrong, subtract from 450. So 30 correct, 0 wrong will fetch us 30 marks. Great. Now I'm going to see how else can you get 30 marks. As the negative marking is given as 1/3 of a mark, 1/3 of a mark is negative, and positive is fetching a mark. So if I have one more correct answer, I should have 3 wrong answers to nullify that, right? So I could have 31 correct answers and 3 wrong answers, and rest I don't even want to calculate that. So the rest, it will lead me to the same 30 marks. Similarly, I can keep on increasing my correct answer by 1 and correspondingly increase my wrong answers by 3, and I will be able to get the same 30 marks. Now I'll have to see how many such combinations can I go for, right? So as total, if I see the total number of questions that are attempted here, I'm leaving the rest, I'm leaving the unattempted ones. Attempted questions total, if I see total attempted, if I see in the first case it is 30, second case it is 34. Now I'll have to see till where can I go like this. We know that the total number of questions is 450 questions, and this is an arithmetic progression which is increasing by 4, and so I can actually write all of them in the form 4k plus something, because they're all increasing by 4. So if I divide the first one by 4, I'll get remainder 2. So all the numbers are of the form 4k plus 2, and even 450 is of the form 4k plus 2. So what will happen is when I take this progression, I will get 450 coming somewhere down the line in this progression. So now it all boils down to finding out how many terms are there in this progression when you start from 30 and go on till 450. Okay, so number of terms in such a progression, so that will be 450 minus 30 by 4, because for every 4 numbers you're going to take 1, and plus 1 because I'm including the first one and the last one as well. This is how we do the counting when you're including the first and the last. Right, 450 minus 30 by 4 plus 1, that is going to be 420 by 4 plus 1. So 420 by 4 is 105, 105 plus 1, 106 should be the answer for this question. The average weight of all the students in a class is calculated as 8 kgs. The average falls by 4 kgs. The weight of the students with roll number 1 to roll number 20 are not taken into account, and increases by 4 kgs. The weight of the students of last 20 roll numbers is not considered. Okay, so it falls by 4 if the first 20 are not considered, increases by 4 if the last 20 are not considered, and we don't know how this first class, it's only on the basis of roll number. We don't know anything about their weight so far, at least. Okay, if the average of weights of students with roll numbers 1 to 20, oh, so there we get the value about what is going to be the total weight, right? So average of weights of students with roll numbers 1 to 20 is 40. Average of weights of students with last 20 roll numbers is 20. Find the number of students in the class. Okay, let's form some equation. Let there be n students in the class. Average weight is already given as A. I'm going to take number of students as n, right? So before removing all these, no, top 20, bottom 20 and all that, the total is going to be NA. Number of students into class average. It is given average falls by 4, the weights of the students from roll number 1 to 20. So when I'm going to remove 1 to 20 and some information is given about the weights of 1 to 20, average of the weights of students with roll numbers 1 to 20 is given as 40. So their total is going to be what? 40 into 20. For 20 of them, average is 40. So from the original total weight, if I remove 40 into 20, that will give me what was the total weight after these roll number 1 to roll number 20 were removed. And when I divide that by n minus 20, why are we doing that? Because 20 of them were removed, right? When I did this, it is given the average falls by 4 kgs. So from A, it became A minus 4. That's our first equation. Now, similarly, we can do another equation for the next case. Let's look at the next case. The next case is when last 20 were removed, it increased by 4 kg. So when I put a similar expression for this, it will become NA minus, and the last 20, average weight of the students with the last 20 roll numbers is 20 kgs. So that will be 20 into 20 divided by n minus 20. Now that should lead to what? A plus 4. It is given here. It increased by 4 kgs if the weights of the last 20 students were removed. So this is going to be A plus 4. So now these two have to be solved. So there are various ways to solve these two. What I am going to do is I'm going to keep NA on one side and take everything else to the other side, and then subtract, get rid of NA and solve. Okay, there are other ways to solve as well. So let's try and follow that approach. So I'm going to keep NA here, take everything else to the other side. So in this case, it will become NA is equal to, this goes to the other side, which is n minus 20 into A minus 4 plus this one is 800. Here I would get NA is equal to A plus 4 into n minus 20 plus 400. So in the two equations that we have got, this is for first 20 Ks, last 20 Ks, and both the equations have got NA on the left side. So I could probably equate both of them, right? The right hand sides can be equated. Or if you want to subtract, you can subtract, have 0 on the left hand side and then equate. So I'm going to equate the right hand sides of both these cases and see what we can get out of that. So let's do that. So when I equate this to this, so let's first simplify this. So this will become n into A. So NA minus 4n minus 20A plus 80 plus 800, and that's equal to this side. NA minus 20A plus 4n minus 80 plus 400. Let's cancel whatever can be cancelled here. So if I look at this, I've got an NA and an NA, so let's get rid of that. What else? We have got an A term, and that is minus 20A minus 20A, so we can get rid of that as well, minus 20A minus 20A. Now it is a linear equation, only one variable. Only n is there as a variable here, which means we should be able to find the value of n, right? So let's do that. So n is only variable. I have got minus 4n plus 4n. So let me take that minus 4n on the other side. So that will give me 8n. So n has been taken care of. And this side I have got 880. That side I have got 320. So this is 880 this side minus that side is going to be 320. So I'll get 560 as 8 times of n, or I could just say n is going to be 70. Okay, so answer for this question is 70. Rohan and Surya decided to make 4 identical toys together. However, in the beginning, Surya didn't turn up and Rohan ended up making 1 toy alone, and in turn took P days more than what they would have taken had they worked together to make the toy. After the completion of the first toy, Rohan didn't turn up and Surya ended up making 1 toy alone and took 36 P by 25 days more than what they would have taken for that toy had they worked together. For the remaining 2 toys, both of them worked together, and totally it took them 181 days for the completion of 4 toys in this manner. How many days did Rohan take to make the first toy? Okay, let's see how we can answer this one. Now, there is a concept here which goes like this. So, leaving this question aside, let's just look at the concept once. I have discussed this concept in detail in the concept classes. In case you haven't been able to, in case you haven't gone through it or you are not able to recollect it, I want to help you to quickly recollect it. So, how the concept goes is like this. Let's say we have 2 people, A and B. And if they work together, let's say they are taking T days to complete the work. Working together, they take T days to complete the work. And working alone, let's say A takes T plus some days, that extra days he takes, I'm going to put as A. And B takes T plus some days, that extra days that B takes, I'm going to put as B. So T is the time taken by them working together. A is the extra days that A takes when he works alone. B is the extra days that B takes when he works alone. Now, how I can equate T plus A, T plus B and T in some form in an equation is their efficiencies I can take. So if I take their efficiencies, in this case, I can say the efficiency can be written as 1 by T plus A. In this case, it's going to be 1 by T plus B. In this case, it's going to be T. Now, this is the time taken when they're working together. So I can say efficiency of A plus efficiency of B should be equal to efficiency of A and B working together. Now, if you solve this, you will finally get T is equal to square root of AB. I'm not going to solve the whole thing. You can solve and see. You'll finally get T is equal to square root of AB. This is a result that you can actually remember. It's very simple to remember. Whenever you have A, B and B working together being related, and A takes A days extra and B takes B days extra when compared to the time that they will take when they're working together, then the time that they will take when they're working together is going to be square root of A into B. Please type C if everybody is clear with this concept. Okay, now I'm going to apply this concept because the question is texting exactly this. So let's do that. It is given Surya didn't turn up and Rohan ended up making 1 toy alone, and he took, okay, the value here is P days more than what they would have taken had they worked together. After the completion of first toy, Rohan did not turn up and Surya ended up making 1 toy alone and took 36 P by 25 days more than what they would have taken together. So let T be the time that they would have taken together if they had worked on 1 toy. T is the time that together they will take to make 1 toy. So T should be equal to square root of P into 36P by 25, right? So that leads us to, it is P square into 36 by 25. So when I take square root of that, I will get P into 6 by 5. What is that? That is the time that they will take to do 1 toy if they both had been working together. Okay, and it is given for the remaining 2 toys, both of them work together, and totally it took them 181 days for the completion of 4 toys in this manner. So 2 toys they work together, 1 toy only one of them worked, the other toy the other guy worked. So let's form an equation for that. If they're working together, we know it will take 6P by 5 or 6 by 5P. So let's say when they worked together for the 2 toys, it would have taken 6 by 5P plus 6 by 5P. Now these are the 2 toys that both of them worked together, and when the first guy worked, he took P days more than what they would have taken. So for that, I can say 6 by 5P plus P. That is for the first guy. And the next guy, he took 36P by 25 days more than what they would have taken. So that will be 6 by 5P plus this. And what is that? That's equal to 181. Okay, now I'll quickly tell you what's happening here in case you kind of lost in between. So what's happening here is these 2 are the time taken to make these 2 toys together. This is the time taken by the first guy who took P days more. This is the time taken by this guy who took 36p by 25 days. Please type E if everybody is clear with how I formed this equation. Okay, now we just have to go ahead and solve this equation to get our answer. Let's do that. So let's take this. This is going to be 12 by 5p plus 6 by 5p plus p. That I can make it as 11 by 5p plus this is what 25 here. So LCM will become 25. This will become 30. 30 plus 36. That's going to be 66p by 25 is equal to 181. Let's multiply the entire thing by 25. If I multiply the entire thing by 25, this is not 36p by 25. This is 6 by 5p. Yeah, that's correct. So let's multiply the whole thing by 25 and then see what answer we will get. So if I multiply the whole thing by 25, I'll get 12 into 5p plus 11 into 5p plus 66p is equal to 181 into 25. So what does that lead to? This leads to 60p plus 55p plus 66p is 181 into 25, and 60 plus 55 plus 66 is coming to exactly 181. So 181p is equal to 181 into 25. Let's take it here. We'll put it this side. 181p, this is coming to 181, is equal to 181 into 25. So I can cancel the two 181s. P is going to be 25. Okay, now what is the question asking for? How many days did Rohan take to make the first toy? So Rohan took this much amount of time to make the first toy, right? 6 by 5p plus p. So let's get an expression for 6 by 5p plus p here. 6 by 5p plus p, which is 11 by 5p. That is the total amount of time Rohan took to make the first toy. We got p value is 25. So let's just substitute that here. So we will get 11 into 5, 55 as the answer for this question. So type 55 if you're clear with how we got the answer for this question. Awesome. Just to quickly take you through the whole process that we followed here. So first is this logic. You should know this logic by heart. You cannot afford to go and waste time in the exam trying to develop this logic. So first thing is, you know that t is equal to square root of extra by the first guy into extra by the second guy, right? So that gives us t is equal to this. And then they have given 4 toys were made. 2 were made when they were working together. The other 2 were made by each of them separately. So this part is for what they will do when they're working together. This is one guy's time, this is the other guy's time. Then it's just simplification, you get p value as 25. They're asking for how many days did Rohan take to make the first toy. Rohan is the guy who worked first when Surya did not turn up. He took p days more than the time taken together, which is this part, 6 by 5p plus p, which is 11 by 5p. P value is there. Substitute, we'll get the answer. A, B, C and D decided to run in the same direction on a circular track of length 1200 meters. After A covered 900 meters, B started from the starting point. After B covered 600 meters from the starting point, C started from the starting point. After C covered 300 meters from the starting point, D started from the starting point. All of them finished covering the track length and reached the starting point at the same instance. In a race among all 4, if D beats B by 500 meters, by how much distance will B beat A? Okay, so let's get the speed ratios of two of them and then we can combine all of that. Let's look at this part of the information. After A covered 900 meters, B started from the starting point. So A only has another 300 meters left because it's already covered 900. So when A covers 300, B is covering the entire 1200. So I can say speed of A is to speed of B is 300 is to 1200 because they took the same amount of time. In whatever time A covered 300, B covered 1200. So when time is constant, speed ratio is same as distance ratio. Similarly, speed of B is to speed of C. When B covered 600 from the starting point, C started and both of them finished at the same time. So B has another 600 to cover, while C has to cover the entire 1200. Now coming to the next guy. After C covered 300 meters from the starting point, D started from the starting point. So C had only covered 300, so he has another 900 to cover, while D covers 1200. So speed of C is to speed of D is 900 is to 1200. Now as we have got ratios which are connecting all of them, we can get a combined ratio. Let's do that. Speed of A is to speed of B is to speed of C is to speed of D. Let's first simplify these. This is going to be 1:4, 1:2, 3:4. So for A, it is 1 into 1 into 3. That's going to be 3. For B, it is 4 into 1 into 3. So that's 12. For C, it is 4 into 2 into 3. 4 2s are 8 and 3 24. For D, it is 4 into 4, 16 into 2, 32. So that's the combined speed ratio of all of them. Now, what is the question asking for? In a race among all four, if D beats B by 500 meters. Okay, if D beats B by 500 meters, let's look at the distance difference here. The speed difference is 20 units as per the ratio, right? It's 20 units. So if speed difference is 20 units, then that 20 units is proportional to 500 meters in the race. That is, as in a race, when they say that D has beaten B, it means both of them have taken equal time, right, to reach their respective points. So the speed ratio is also equal to distance ratio. So when D covers 32 units, B has covered 12 units. So that difference is 20 units, which is equal to 500 meters. Now I can use that to find out what is the race length. So race length is 32 units. I'll have to find out what it is if 20 units is 500 meters. The race length will be 500 by 20 into 32 meters. That's the race length. Now the question is, by how much distance will B beat A? So we are interested in B beating A. So if B is beating A, that is, when B covers 12, A will cover 3. But the race length is this much. So if B covers this much, A will cover how much we'll have to see. That difference will give us by what distance B is beating A. Or what we could do is, if you see here, the distance by which B will beat A is 9 units as per this, right? It's 9 units. So 9 out of 12. So if the race length is 12, 9 units will be the distance by which B will beat A. So 9/12 of the race length will be the distance by which B will beat A. So let's do that here. So we know the race length is 500 by 20 into 32. I'll have to find 9/12 of that value. So if I do that, 9/12 is 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 into 500 by 20. I can just take it as 25 into 32. So if I cancel this, so 4 and this will go 8 times. So that will be 25 into 24. It will give us 600 meters. So 600 meters is the distance by which B will beat A. The capacity of tank A is 50% more than that of tank B. One day, suddenly both the tanks developed a leakage at the same time, such that tank A can be emptied in 5 hours and B can be emptied in 15 hours because of the leakage. What is the time duration after which the volume of the tank and water in tank B will be 20% more than the volume of the water in tank A? Okay, let's form our equations. So tank A and tank B, tank A, tank B, first let's take their volume. It is given capacity of tank A is 50% more than that of tank B. So let me take this as 3V if this is 2V. 3V is 50% more than 2V. One day, suddenly both the tanks developed a leakage at the same time such that tank A can be emptied in 5 hours. Now I'm going to take efficiency of the leakage that happened. Okay, the leakage can empty tank A in 5 hours. So efficiency of that is going to be 3V by 5. And B can be emptied in 15 hours. So efficiency of the leak in B is 2V by 15. Now these are the efficiencies of the leak. Volume by time they take to empty that. Okay. What is the time duration after which the volume of water in tank B will be 20% more than volume of water in tank A? So volume of water in tank B by volume of water in tank A should be in the ratio 6 by 5. Now that represents 20% more, right? When the numerator is 20% more than the denominator, I can write as 6 by 5. Now let's get an expression for VB by VA. So let's say after a time T, VB and VA are the volume. So I can say 3V minus, that is initial volume, T into 3V by 5, because that is the efficiency at which the leak is going to remove. So T is the duration after which we are getting our required. Okay, let me just change this. I have put A's value here. Let me just change it into B's value. Because we have B in the numerator. So it will be 2V minus volume of B we'll have to get in the numerator, right? So 2V minus T into 2V by 15. So this should give me the volume in B after T units of time. Okay, T hours in this case. By the volume in A will be 3V minus T into 3V by 5. Okay, now that should be equal to 6 by 5. Now let's get rid of V because V is there in all these terms. So let's cancel V, 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 V and V. So V's are out. I could also probably cancel the 2 from the numerator because I've got 6 on the other side. So this will become just 1. This will become 1 by 15. This will become 3. Okay, now let's simplify this. It will become 1 minus 3 by 15 by 3 minus 3T by 5 is equal to 3 by 5. Okay, now I can probably, I don't like fractions. So let's multiply the numerator and denominator here by 15 because I want to get rid of fractions as early as possible in my calculations. So let's get rid of the denominator 15 and 5 by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 15. So that will leave me with 15 minus T 5. Here I will get 3 into 15, that is 45 minus 90, right? 15 if I put, we'll cancel 90 is equal to 3 by 5. Now we'll have to cross multiply this to get our answer. Let's cross multiply. It will become 75 minus 5T. 75 minus 5T. I have to take this to the other side. It will become 3 into 45 minus 2070. Okay, minus 2070, 5T. So if I take this to the side, I'll get 22T is equal to 3 into 45 is 135 minus 75. So 22T is 60 or T is T by 22. I can modify that as probably 30 by 11. Do I have that? Okay, I have 11 here. And there is no other option which has 11 in the denominator. So that's the answer. Are we getting it? 22 plus. Yeah, we're getting it. So answer is option 1 for this question.